I'm Courtney Rich, filling in for Brooke, who left us with a very special interview for today. Let's watch together.
As humans, it's natural to stay where we are, right? In a safe and comfortable space and place. But my next guest believes we didn't come to Earth to isolate, and that real connection and happiness are found through friendship and through love. Sister Reyna Aburto is the second counselor in the Relief Society General Presidency of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. She joins me with 3 ways to step out of our shells. Sister Aburto, welcome to Studio 5.
Thank you so much, Brooke, for inviting me.
It's a delight to have you. We've chatted before in other settings, but it's the first time you're here in studio.
I feel privileged.
Welcome. We feel privileged. We do. And I love this message, Sister Aburto, to step outside of our shell, especially after the last couple of years that we've had. Let's define that, though. What does it mean to build a shell as a human, to build a shell around us?
I think that sometimes we are trying to protect, as I feel, you know, we really, and I think it's a natural behavior.
Yeah.
You know, when we sense danger, we tend to protect ourselves.
Right.
But I think that sometimes we may go too far. You know, sometimes we do it so much that we don't really connect with people. We miss opportunities to connect. And I think that is sad when that happens.
Yeah, when that shell becomes kind of a wall or a barrier
Yes.
to other people. You lean on a quote from Elder Neil A. Maxwell, who once says, "Though it may not be reciprocated, love is never wasted." Do we sometimes worry too much about how other people might react if we extend or if we reach out?
Yes, sometimes that happens to us. I think that sometimes we don't connect with someone because we don't know if they are going to really react the way we expect. But I feel that even if they don't, I feel that they will know our intentions, and and they will know that we are just trying to make a connection, and they will not forget that. I don't think that any act of kindness is wasted. That every time we act with kindness, there is an impact in the person, and everything that we do will have good fruits.
They will feel it.
They will
right?
feel it.
Even if it wasn't a
Yes.
perfect outreach or it wasn't a perfect expression,
Yes.
they're going to sense the sentiment behind it.
Yes, and the thing is that sometimes people feel, they suffer from anxiety, and that's part of the problem too.
Yeah.
But I know that if we just let them know that we want to have just a real connection with them, we just want to establish our friendship, then they will open up to us.
I like that challenge to say it. I
Yes.
coach my 6-year-old all the time to just say, "Will you be my friend?" Right? On the
Yes.
playground, we could adapt that as adults and just, express the desire for that connection. I love the belief you shared too that we didn't come to Earth to isolate. And as I think of the last couple of years, we've had an experience where we were forced to isolate to some degree. It might take some extra effort to break out of that personal isolation.
Yes, I know it was very hard in the beginning. I remember I didn't want to leave my house because I was so scared. We didn't really know what was happening and how bad it was. And we know that it actually, there were a lot of deaths around the world, and it was a real problem.
Yes.
But at the same time, we were forced to be creative, to find creative ways to connect and to see people, even though we could not probably give them a hug, but we could even go to a park and talk to them from there, or through a window. Or I heard so many stories of people finding really great ways to stay connected with their families and their friends. And of course, we use technology too. In our case, in our calling, we had meetings with people and members all over the world. Almost every day we had different meetings with people.
That technology became a big blessing.
Yes, it
and
did.
I think it underscores the craving we have to connect. We crave connection.
Yes, I think that, again, I don't think we came to this world to be isolated. We are human beings that are designed to be social. We come to families, and we always need that nurturing from other people. Of course, we also need the nurturing from heaven.
Yes.
We need that connection with God. And as we increase that love that we feel for God, our love for others can also increase, and vice versa.
Yes, well said. You proposed 3 specific things we can do to reach outside of ourselves if we start to feel that shell closing in. And the first is to focus on acts of kindness.
Yes, I think that's probably the easiest one.
Yes.
Because even a smile can make a difference. When we smile to people, it's hard not to smile back when someone smiles at you. I remember having an experience years ago. I was called as a Stake Relief Society president. And then, it hit me that every time I went to the store, maybe many of those sisters or women that were there were actually sisters from my stake. And I just would smile to everyone.
Because you didn't know.
Yeah,
who
I
was
didn't
who.
know who was who.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to have that, for them to remember me that way. And so it kind of became a habit. And now I smile everywhere just because I want to connect with people.
You want people to feel that from you.
Yes.
And we talked about that power of connection. You encourage women to seek out that, ways to connect one to another.
Yes. And it's just because we crave it, like you said. We
Yeah.
long to belong. And we actually belong to the family of God. And we can be the means for other people to know that they are seen, to know that they are valued.
I love that. I love that. You recently described a visit to a butterfly sanctuary,
Oh, yes.
which sounded like a lot of fun, where you were amazed, you said, by the uniqueness and beauty of each individual butterfly. You wrote, each butterfly in a kaleidoscope is unique and different, yet these seemingly fragile creatures have been designed by a loving creator with the ability to survive, travel, multiply, and disseminate life as they go from one flower to the next, spreading pollen. And you went on to say, although each butterfly is different, they work together to make the world a more beautiful and fruitful place. I'm curious for your suggestions, Sister Aburto, how we might do a better job of connecting with people who like butterflies are different than we are, right? We have those differences.
Yeah, I think that each of us is unique, and we are designed that way too. There is beauty in that. But at the same time, we have so much in common. And sometimes we focus too much in the differences, I feel. And we don't realize that we have so much in common. We have the same desires. We want to just be a good person, and we want to provide for our family, and we want to help other people. And we have that divine nature in us, and that is why we have that longing to connect. But at the same time, the differences make it so that the kaleidoscope that we can form is better,
Yeah.
is richer.
Yeah.
And then we can all give something, we all have something to give, and that's something that we also need to remember.
Yeah, it's a beautiful collection. We can
Yes.
focus on the differences, celebrate the differences
Yes.
while connecting over commonalities. I
Yes.
love that. If you think about building a shell, as you described, right, building a shell around ourselves, around our spirits, it kind of creates this self-focus, right? Like it's all around and about me. How might we turn our energy to other people? What are some ways that we can focus on others in an attempt to form these connections?
Well, I think that when we turn inward, we go inside our heart, and it's kind of limited. But if we turn our heart outward, then our capacity to love expands. And the thing is that when we feel depressed, and when we are sad, and we are having all these negative thoughts, we tend to go inward. But I think that just switching that and just forcing ourselves a little bit to go and help other people, and to see other people, and to turn outward, then our problems are not that big.
Yeah.
And I know that that's one of the best ways to combat depression, is to actually focus on other people, to go and try to find someone that day, maybe offer a prayer that morning and say, who could I help today? And when we offer that prayer, then our eyes are more open, and then we smile easier. And then we'll find someone that even with a smile, we can help feel better.
It soothes nerves and anxiety as well. I remember early in my career when I was tasked with doing what felt like very scary things right in front of big audiences and people. And I had a dear friend say, it's not about you. It's not about you. Just focus on other people. And that does eliminate that anxiety, right? Or at least help subside it.
It helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
We strive to look on the bright side and approach life positively, but you described, down days too, and we all have them. And you believe in our shared sorrows, we have a place for stronger connection. You once, in an address, you said, even if we do not know how to relate to what others are going through, validating that their pain is real can be an important first step in finding understanding and finding healing. And what I take from that is, as we focus on others, we can get more comfortable with their pains and their struggles, deepening that connection that we all strive for and crave.
Yes, I think that listening is such an important gift that we can have, learn to listen.
Yeah.
And just to listen to people and to get to know their stories. I think that sometimes also that's why we create that shell, because we don't really know the other person. But once you connect and you hear their stories, then you realize that we are not alone in our struggles. But then even if we don't totally understand what they're going through, we can try to put ourselves in their shoes, and then be more compassionate, and just give them that gift of validating their pain.
Yeah.
Just saying, I can see that you are suffering. I'm with you. Not trying to fix it.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, not trying to fix it, because sometimes we tend to just give counsel without being asked.
Especially moms, right?
Yes.
You jump in with those words of wisdom or that advice.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not that easy, but sometimes we just need to listen and just to say, yes, I see that you're suffering. I'm with you. I'll be here anytime you want to talk, and just giving a hug and telling that person that you want to be with them. That makes a big difference. That can make a big difference.
Great words, a great light and warmth you bring about you, Sister Aburto. Thank you so much. The challenge to break out of our shell and form those connections one with another. We love you. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Brooke.